Hello, my name is Dmitry. Welcome to the DPLabs channel. Today we will finally announce the long-awaited results of the competition for ambitious engineers. We received a lot of entries for the competition, but not that many, let's say, that met the original requirements. But still, there is quite a lot to show. We'll start our review with the concept designs for the electric quad bike. So I'll hand things over to Ivan, who will tell you about the 3 nominees for the electric quad bike prize. Ivan, the floor is yours.
We received a total of 9 solid projects. There were other submissions as well, but either they didn't include 3D models or they simply couldn't be considered at all. And even among these 9, I believe that only 3 projects truly fulfilled the technical requirements. These are Denis Yastrebov, Ivan Dokuchev, and Mikhail Polejaev. And we believe that Denis Yastrebov is the winner in this category because he provided a very detailed description. The 3D model is well developed and there are even beautiful renders of the whole thing. From a design perspective, he was practically the only one who at least tried to do something, and overall it turned out quite well. Naturally, all the technical documentation is present, specifying which components were sourced from where. Unlike the other projects, for many parts like suspension elements, for example the shock absorbers, he indicated exactly where he got them from, whereas in the other submissions these were just abstract models. But in our technical requirements we specified that the engines, power steering and many other elements should be available for purchase on the open market, and he got all of that right. As for the others, there were a lot of shortcomings. For example, the hubs and suspension elements, it's unclear which parts were used. Some things are drawn in great detail, while others are not depicted at all. Some components are just floating in the air, some are rendered in maximum detail, and for many elements it's unclear where they came from. Still, the technical requirements stated that most of the components should be available for purchase on the open market.
So, you've heard the opinions of the esteemed judges about the electric ATV project, and the unanimous decision was made to award 400,000 rubles to Denis Yastrebov. We ask him to get in touch with us if he is willing and able to come here to the Domodedovo district. We can pay the prize in cash and further discuss the prospects of developing the prototype. We would be very happy to see him. We also decided to give an additional prize for the electric ATV project, which really amused us. And we'll call it this: the illegitimate child of a Kirovets and a Burpee Outlander, and 10,000 rubles will go to the gentleman with the nickname Boris Sid. Please get in touch with us, check out this project on the DPLabs website and you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's really something else. Now we'll move on to discussing the competition for BLDC/PMSM motors. We received a lot of applications for the contest. I personally spoke with many participants during the process of communication and project review. I met a lot of people. With some of them, we're working on projects that aren't related to this competition. Also, for example, I met Mikhail, whom you saw in the last video about the machines. He wanted to participate in the motor competition, but he wanted to make an asynchronous motor. We had a very long conversation on this topic, and now we're working together in partnership on many other projects. And since he, let's say, has significant expertise in motors, he will be the chief judge for the motor competition. He will explain to us why someone won and who the contenders were. The floor is yours.
We have chosen Andrei Ryabchanov as the deserving winner for a significant number of compelling reasons. Criteria, because he has a very strong project and it is presented in a highly professional manner. You can immediately tell that this person is truly involved in this field. Secondly, one of the most important things is that he described what it is and why a power traction electric motor should be the way it is, regardless of whether it's a PMSM or something else. His overall vision and understanding are clear. He explained why such a motor should be controlled without Hall sensors using a resolver, or surely he could just as well have described how it would work with an absolute encoder. He designed a motor that was supposed to meet the competition's criteria, but after that he made an obvious conclusion, based on his own calculations and the competition's requirements, that the motor should actually be somewhat different. All power traction electric motors should not be high speed. They should be lower speed, particularly because a good, silent, high-speed gearbox is a very technologically complex product. We decided to award second place to Dmitry who proposed a project with axially arranged electromagnets. This is a very interesting direction that is now gaining popularity as vector generators. In fact, these remarkable systems exist in America as well. There are even numerous dedicated manufacturers of such advanced traction power electric motors. The entire project is exceptionally well developed, especially in terms of its intricate and highly efficient magnetic system, but it ultimately fell just a little bit short of the truly outstanding winner we ultimately chose for the coveted first place position.
But what I want to say is that here we will actually have two winners. Whoever took second place, we will pay them 100,000 rubles and contact them separately. Perhaps if we understand all the nuances, we might also try to come to an agreement to build a prototype. Because there are a lot of caveats here, but I think something could come out of it. I wanted to say right away to the skeptics that no one could have fully developed this in such a short time. It's impossible. It would take many days of work. But these two projects have shown themselves. If you work on them a bit more, you can make a prototype out of them. Mikhail, wouldn't you agree, basically, with just a little more effort and so on? I think if people want to, within 3 or 4 months, we'll have a finished prototype. So in principle, we've achieved our goals with this competition. I also want to say to the winners of this competition, if you wish and are able, we will pay for your travel and you can come to me for the award ceremony. But if that's not possible for you, just leave your payment details and we will transfer your prize money to you. You can also check out all the other projects on the DPLabs channel. You can share your opinion. Maybe we're wrong about something, but we've already chosen the winner. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's now move on to the inverter projects. A lot of inverter projects were also submitted to the competition. Some of them, as I was warned, are just blatant copies of open source projects from the internet. Well, we're not stupid, we know how to use everything, but alright. God will be your judge. Many of the projects weren't very well developed and most didn't meet the technical requirements. But I was really surprised by Evgeny from Kursk because he contacted me 2 weeks before the contest ended and asked if I minded if he went ahead and made a prototype right away. We discussed what, where and how, and that surprised me. He came to me with a prototype. You all saw it yourselves. Everything worked. I thought something would explode, but nothing exploded. Everything was very beautiful, heartfelt, even a bit over the top. He has an awesome setup in terms of software. And overall, everything works really well. Even my lead developer, German, who is usually very skeptical about young people and developers, he thinks they're arrogant. But when I showed him, he said, the other projects were good, but honestly, they were a bit weak. There were also other people, I met a lot of them, who do this professionally. They just realized they wouldn't have time to finish before the competition. But I'm still in touch with many of them, and maybe we'll continue to collaborate in the future. Since Evgeny created a finished prototype, and I'm confident in it, our plan is to launch it into production, starting with a small batch, then moving to a larger one. It's going to be a very interesting project. He immediately receives 1,200,000 rubles since he won the competition. I don't think anyone would deny that. And on top of that, he made a finished prototype. Evgeny doesn't mind. A bit later, we'll present it nicely and everything will be released as open source. If anyone wants to, go ahead and make it yourself. We don't mind. Everything will be open source. And I want to say this to everyone right away. Everyone kept asking, what are my shares? Am I profiting off someone? But there are people who understand that knowledge. It's all for people, because on his project, someone else, well, using his knowledge, can make something even better, and that will be better for humanity. And people who are incompetent still won't be able to profit from it. So all of this will be released as open source. Use it as much as you want, we don't mind. We need to advance humanity, to lead it, so to speak, toward informational singularity, so that everything everywhere works automatically and people can devote themselves only to art or something else worthwhile. Regarding the charger, I understand that this isn't a very interesting project, as was clear to many, but none of the draft projects submitted to the competition met the technical requirements. Many people just tried to do it by the book. As my developer German said, it looks nice, but it won't work. There are some difficulties. In fact, the charger of this power is not such a simple thing. No one even tried to work it all out properly. And at the level we achieved, even for me, and I'm not, excuse me, the smartest circuit designer, I could have done better. Well, as I wrote, basically all the projects do not meet the technical requirements. Sorry, there will be no prizes here. If you think I'm wrong, all the more or less adequate projects will be made publicly available, and I'm open to discussion. So, what can I tell you about all of this? In principle, I think the whole contest was a success. The mistake I made was launching a lot of projects at once, and it was hard to sort through everything, because there's a main job, people are busy, so next time, I won't do it that way, I'll do everything separately because there are a lot of applications and everyone needs attention. I apologize to those I didn't communicate with much or didn't give enough time to. Very good. I was really pleased that the skeptics' opinion that it was impossible to do and that no one would take it on for that kind of money turned out to be wrong. What do we have in reality? The ATV project, it's not perfect, but you can make a real prototype out of it, and with the inverter, it's just awesome. As for the engine, that's not bad either. There are two projects that need work. The project that won, you can actually build it in hardware and test it on a stand. I think it will turn out really well. There will need to be some improvements, but this is a really good start. And as you can see, you don't need an entire research institute and a ton of money for this. And believe me, we can build a prototype ourselves. There's nothing complicated about it. And all those complainers who say there's not enough money or resources, well, you can see for yourselves that you're wrong. Going forward, as much as I can, I will keep organizing similar competitions. Well, taking into account the current mistakes. As for the ATV, I understand that's a really complex project and there's still a lot of work to be done. But the situation with the charger really disappointed me. Well, if it's not going to happen, then we'll just do it ourselves. And gentlemen, please suggest what else we could put up for a competition of this kind. For example, I think it wouldn't hurt to make some kind of nice looking BMS for 96S at 400 volts so that it looks good, because there's really not much of that on the market. Cascading something with low current isn't great either, and ready-made solutions are very expensive. If you're interested, let's organize a competition like that. I think it wouldn't hurt to make a good BMS plus some kind of protection, a battery controller, so to speak. This will all be open source as well. I hope I haven't offended anyone. Those who won the competition, please get in touch with us. I would really like to see you at the award ceremony. But if for some reason you can't come, that's not a problem. At least record a video with your comments, what you think, what your thoughts are. That would be great. If you do want to come, I'll cover your travel and accommodation. We'll give you a warm welcome and discuss future cooperation. All the best. Subscribe to the channel and give us a like. Goodbye.